All right. Hello. Good Vog. Here we are starting. It's Hashem. It's coming Sifat Vorim. And this week's Parsha was specifically, the Torah spoke about the Indian of Nedorim. Let me just move camera a little bit. Okay. So spoke about the Indian of Nedorim. Parshas Nedorim is pointed out by David Gewirtzman that Moshe Rabbeinu says to Am Yisrael, Zeh Dover Asher Amar Hashem. This is the thing that Hashem has said. So we all know about, the famous difference between Moshe Rabbeinu and all the other prophets, where all the other prophets says, Ko Amar Hashem. Hashem said like that. Moshe Rabbeinu, he also said Ko Amar plenty of places, but on top of that, he also had prophecies that are worded, the language was Ze Amar Hashem, which means this is what Hashem said. It's not like this, but this. Very clear, unambiguous. It's not, there's no, compared to this, it's Zedava. And he says, if a person makes a neder and so on, if he doesn't keep it, then he is over on the prohibition of Balichel Dvora. A person should not make his words cheap. Chulin. And so this specific thing, this particular mitzvah that says, this is what Hashem said, we're talking about Nedorim. Now, Nedorim are obviously unique. A person, we're talking about the importance of the dibur, of the speech. Whereas a Jew makes a vow, he takes something which is totally heter. I mean, take piece of bread, which is obviously completely allowed, and he makes a neder, he vows not to eat it. That bread, eating that bread, is an isser. It's like eating chazer chas v'chalim. I mean, it's like it's an isser, something which is totally mundane, totally okay. And the nekuda is that the bulk of our nisyonos, of our trials, does not come in situations where we know for sure that doing this or that is forbidden. Shabbos, you don't go and light up the fire on Shabbos. It's very clear to you what directive is. And yet people can come to such a situation where they transgress such a prohibition. But usually when a person knows clear this is forbidden, okay, the tests, the trials, the temptations are not as, when does it become, when are the bulk of the tests? The tests are when it's not so clear that Hashem doesn't want me to do that. Well, basically, I know that he doesn't like it or whatever, but it's not a clear thing. Hashem's like, this don't do. So when things are like a little fuzzy, this is when the bulk of the tests come. Maybe Hashem doesn't care so much, that type of thing. The inyan of the nader, the power of the speech, has the ability to create clarity. If a person does something that he's not supposed to do, and he has a tough time, letting it go, sometimes it is possible for a person, even though this is an option that should be exercised very cautiously, a person makes a neder, makes a vow that he will not partake of something. It can help him because it clarifies things. It makes it crystal clear. It becomes zed over. This is. It's no longer, but the truth be told, in any situation in your life, where there are various options, whatever it is, there are things which constitutes the will of Hashem. That's what Hashem wants to do. But in many cases, it's very fuzzy. It's very, like foggy, like undefined, in doubt, whatever. The dibur, the speech of a person, has such a power to introduce clarity to his situation for good, and chas v'chalilos, or now it's Hashem. Monday is going to be Rosh Chodesh, Menachem Av, Vet Hashem, Vet Hashem to see great miracles. It came about because of the sin of the Meraglim, the spies. Their sin was dibur. And afterwards, when all the people cried, it was all in of dibur. Dibur is very, very powerful. Rabbeinu says that the dibur is so powerful that a person shouldn't even joke. Say that he will chas v'chalila do an avera. It's just joking, or even not just joking, but there was a king of the nation of Israel, kingdom of Israel, by the name of Asa, the king Asa. The king Asa wanted to gather. He's the one that has fulfilled the prophecy that Achav, the king of Israel, him and his entire household will be totally annihilated. Now, at that time, the kingdom of Israel were, most of them, or a lot of them, I don't know what the percentage was, were Avodah Zarah, the wife of Achav, King Isabel, whatever that. She was the daughter of the king of Tyre, and she brought all the priests of the Avodah Zarah of the Baal, and because of that, the politically correct religion of that particular time was the worship of the Baal only. And so when Asa killed, Achav was already killed by Tzev, but the household of Asa was killed by Asa. So he called the gathering of all the priests of the Baal. Now, in order to lure them, his intention was to finish them off, to kill them, each and every one of them. So he falsely said that it's not Asa, sorry, it's not Asa, sorry, it's Yehu. Asa was the Melech, Yehuda. So Yehu, the king of Israel, said, Achav served the Baal a little bit. He said, but Yehu will serve him, the Baal, a lot. In other words, he faked them out, and he said he's going to be like big star in serving the Baal. He obviously didn't mean it. It was a ruse to tempt them to come, which it did. But at the end, Yehu actually went and served idols. He worshipped idols. Why? Because he said, Yehu Yavdenu Arbe, Yehu will worship the Baal a lot. The dibur of a person, his dibur, his speech forced him into doing it. That's why it's very good that a person should say that he will do mitzvahs. B'ezrat Hashem, I will wake up chatzos. B'ezrat Hashem, I will learn the entire Shulchan Aruch. I will learn the entire Zohar. I will learn Tikkun Zohar. B'ezrat Hashem, I will do, and say that you will is only good things. B'ezrat Hashem, the dibur will give you koyach. Even I'm not saying making a nader. Don't make a nader. But say that you will, B'ezrat Hashem. The koyach of the dibur will bring you to do that, B'ezrat Hashem. Okay. Now, the Moshe Chaim Aronson, I just want to tell you something that we spoke about before you came, that as of next week, before Tisha B'Av, this Motzei Shabbos year will be moved to Sunday, as I spoke to you about before. So it's not going to be tomorrow. It's going to be starting from next week, Sunday. Tisha B'Av is Monday night, so Sunday night, B'ezrat Hashem. We will learn 8 o'clock. It depends what time Mariv is, whatever. So we'll cheat a little bit because Mariv is now coming earlier and earlier. So learning at 8 o'clock will become more feasible. All right. So after we learn about this, let's read the Sipurey Baal Shem. This last week we learned about the coming close of the Magid of Mizrich to the Baal Shemtov. This week, tonight, we're going to speak about the Skarvos, the coming close of Yaakov Yosef of Polno, the Mechiach of Polno. Abidulev of Polno, I'm sorry. He was called the admonisher of Polno. So Yudolev from Polno, before he came to Baal Shemtov, he was the one in charge. He was the Mechiach. He was the one, the admonisher of Polno. And he used to call the Baal Shemtov Israel. He wouldn't call him Rav. Because Baal Shemtov still wasn't famous in the world. However, vice versa, the Baal Shemtov used to call him Rebbe. So, the beautiful labor full none. One time the Baal Shemtov spent by the Mechiach in Shabbos Kodesh. And in Leil Shabbos, after the Tefillah, before Kiddush, they started singing Shalom Aleichem, Melech HaShor, Suddenly, the Baal Shem Tov turns around in the house and shouted, just go already. And he said so a few times. Now the Machiach, the Tzad, he thought the Baal Shem Tov was maybe insane, Chas v'Chalila. So he didn't pay attention, to these weird, behaviors, whatever it is. Okay. But at that time, it's already come the time the Baal Shemtov to become known in the world. So the Mashiach always used to think, the Baal Shemtov used to do these kind of things, and the Mashiach always thought that he was simply not altogether with it. But now, time from the Shemayim came for Baal Shem Tov to become known for who he was. So now it came on the Mashiach's das to ask him once and for all, why are you doing this? Why are you always doing these funny gestures? What you said, go already, leave already. Baal Shem Tov did not want to answer him. The entire Shabbos, this thing was stuck in the mind of the Mashiach of Polman. Became upset. So he pestered the Baal Shem Tov until forced him until he had to reveal to him. Baal Shem Tov said, I'll let you know. You should know that in Shemayim, Lo Aleinu, they decreed, Lo Aleinu, Lo Aleichem, on the they decreed death on him. He told the Mashiach. But one time, you daven and you gave yourself over, you self-sacrificed for Klal Yisrael. And this chus worked to save you from this verdict. And the proof is that the people of your household were very, very sick. You yourself were sick. And therefore the Gzar Din came and you came out innocent. Now, when you did beautifully all the preparations for Shabbos, and you accept the Shabbos Kodesh, the Simcha, Shalom Aleichem, Nachashoris, so the angels of compassion, of Rachamim, came to bless you. And the Malach HaMavis was also here. When the Malachim blessed you, the Malach HaMavis, was forced to say after Malach HaMalachim, when he finished, he said, Amen, and when he finished saying Amen, I immediately ordered him to get out, because he already said Amen. When Mashiach heard this, he was shocked. He was so distressed that he held the Baal Shem Tov was not normal. And he didn't hold him for anything. He didn't hold him. How do we know something like this? Nobody knew that he was Meiser Nefesh for Klal Yisrael. It was only in his mind. And he understood immediately the Baal Shem Tov as Ruach HaKodesh. And from that moment on, he started calling him Rebbe. And Baal Shem Tov called him Leib. And he became close to Baal Shem Tov. And became obviously one of his closest Talmidim, his famous Talmidim. One of the most shocking realities that govern our lives is that there's certain realities which we figure to be, okay, that's true. And we either become fearful or become relaxed or become very, very happy because things impress us as immediate and serious and tangible. But then there are all kinds of things that are, how shall we say, it's theoretical. Gzeres Mishamayim, what it's going to be. Kadosh Baruch Hu is upset. Kitrug, Senegoria. Okay, we believe Baruch Hashem, but It's not something that the tzaddikim, like the Baal Shem HaKadosh, they live in a world where their eyes see the malachim, the gzeres mishamayim. Now, the very fact that we don't see what the decrees are in Shemayim doesn't mean that they're any less real. I'll be forget. What can we do? We're human beings. What can you do? Mimela, this is why it is so completely 100% a must to get close to the Tzaddik Emes Shabadon. Not only true reality is real for him, but he controls it. The new Torah Zmanis that the Breslev Zalon is Torah Aleph Chelik Beis is the Amisah that a Yid was born to have dominance, dominion over the Malach. We really need to sort of like maybe find a time during the week to start learning Sichos Haran again, besides, in Breslev Medrash. Rabbeinu said, I actually learned it, read it with my wife, Shalashudas, that they told Rabbeinu that there was a person somewhere who was like a little bit close to Rabbeinu. It wasn't one of Mamash of the people, but he passed away. So Rabbeinu said, how well it would have served him to have been closer. He said, because after that person passed away, most people that pass away are not even aware that they passed away. He said, if he would have been really close to me, he would now prepare himself to travel, hiring a wagon with a driver. While he was doing this, all the malochim, all the fake, demons around him would have had to tell him, you're going to Tzaddik Emes, you already passed away. Don't bother about it. And Mimela would have been good for him. Like this, if he's not close, there's a danger that he will still think that he is busy with his brewery or his innkeeping or making shoes, and he will still think that he's doing this. He wouldn't be aware that it can pass centuries before there's a chronis on him enough to let him know that he even passed away. Shemirah. But then after Shavuos, Rabbeinu said to the people that person, that neshama, that person, actually came to him on Shavuos. We need tzaddikim that run this world and the next world alike, so we can connect to them. So no matter what we pass through, no matter what we go through, we can always lean on them and be saved from whatever it is that we need to be saved from. I can't stress it enough. Okay, now, B'ezrat Hashem, we will let us get to, where do we have it? Okay, here. Sichos Haran. Okay. Sicha 252. Reish Nun Beis. I heard from his name that when you are getting close to the Tzaddik Emes, you are tasting Gan Eden. For it is said in the Zohar Kodesh that the Tzaddik is Ganana de Ginza. He is the gardener of the garden. What an amazing Sicha. Rabbeinu says that Torah tests that the Tachlis of Olam Haba is beyond any conception, but the Tzaddik Emes can conceive it, and those who are close to him can also conceive it. We are passing our lives trying to do, and not trying to do, doing Baruch Hashem, the Ratzon Hashem, more, less, whatever. And we're strengthening ourselves. And when you get close to the Tzaddik, when you keep on doing it, almost invariably comes a time in which the aperture opens and you taste the taste of paradise, the taste of Gan Eden. The taste of Gan Eden is if you take all the best moments that happened to you throughout your entire life and you condense them to one instant. And you take all the best moments, all the successes, all the euphorias of all the people of your town and all the people of the country and all the people of the world together with you in the generation and condense them all into one single instance. And you take all those incredible instances of success, of whatever it is you want, of good fortune, of pleasure, of all the people throughout history, not only that was, but will be, and condense them all into one moment, it still does not come to actually what you call a moment of Gan Eden. So how can you experience that? The little that I know is that when the aperture opens, you don't even know what it is that you are experiencing. You just know that it's a single instant that actually comprises eternity. In other words that I can use for that. Maybe in the middle of when you're eating matzah, or when you're doing some kind of a mitzvah, and suddenly, boom, and immediately it goes away. But as long as you live, it will live with you. Because the Tzaddik Emes is Gan Eden. He's the gardener of Gan Eden. Bezat Hashem will save us and relieve us and deliver us. Hashem will be zecher to really to be in Gan Eden after 120 years. And Bezat Hashem, together with Klal Yisrael, and with zecher Bezat Hashem, to see this Mashiach Tzidkenu, Bezat Hashem, soon in our days, Bezat Hashem. Amen. Bezat Hashem. This shir is dedicated to the Tova of Klal Yisrael. Hashem Yisborach, Bezat Hashem will deliver us from all the Sonim, all the haters, all the enemies of Am Yisrael. Bezat Hashem give us a Geula Shlem, especially now. Rabbi Chodesh Achamav, Bezat Hashem. Hashem will be to great miracles. Great miracle, B'ezrat Hashem. Kol Tov and good Shabbos
Amen.
and good Wochen and good Chodesh.
Good Shabbos. Thank you.